today I am incredibly honored to sit down with a young man who truly blew us all away. If you were at the unveiling of Coach Dawn Staley's monument, you know exactly who I'm talking about. His presence, poise, and powerful voice left a lasting impression on everyone in attendance. He did a phenomenal job as the MC, and today we are giving him his flowers and letting you get to know the voice behind the mic. Join me as we talk about the experience, his journey, and what's next for this rising star. Let's welcome Mr. Tyson Brown.
Oh, that was a very glowing introduction. I don't know if I'm deserving of all of that, but thank you so much for that beautiful intro. I'm glad to be here.
Absolutely. Thank you. We're so glad to have you here.
Absolutely.
And we were just really, really excited. I personally was. I was blown away when I watched the unveiling of the monument. And I think that you played an integral part in that. And so when I saw it, I just had to find out, who is this Tyson Brown?
Wow.
So I'm sure I, along with others, are wondering who is the Tyson Brown. So today we do want to talk with the man behind the mic. And so that you could tell us a little bit about the experience and what your plans are going forward and how we can help you. That's why we're here.
Absolutely. So honestly, I'd have to begin by saying to God be the glory for all of the things that he's done in my life. If I'm being transparent, the statue unveiling was something that was not even on my radar as far as emceeing an event like that. I've never been the kind of person to go after or look for opportunities because I'm a firm believer that when you serve an intentional God, there's no reason to be overly intentional. And so
I like it.
I happened to, just by chance, well, in my definition, by chance, but by God's divine design, run into the opportunity to be the MC for the statue unveiling at the request of our city manager, Miss Teresa Wilson, who has changed my life in a tremendous way by giving my nonprofit a huge chance with the city as well. So the event itself was it was electric. It was life-changing for me. It opened my eyes up even more to all of the possibilities of what Columbia, South Carolina can become. And so I'm just grateful to have been a part of such a big day and such a commemorative event for such an awesome woman and coach, Coach Dawn Staley.
Well, tell us, how did you feel when you got that invitation, and how did you actually prepare for the event? Because it just seems so natural. It just seems so natural. I'm like, well, what did he do to prepare for this? This is awesome.
Well, truth be told, the mayor's office and the city manager's office were working together to pull together the event in a way that would honor Coach Staley. And I just happened to be minding my business on the Monday before the event. And my nonprofit had a session with the city's Parks and Recreation Department to talk to them about organizational culture and things of that nature. The city manager just so happened to be there, and she said, Tyson, I want to talk to you about something that the Lord has put on my heart to ask you to do, and I just need to know what your availability is on Wednesday. Now
this is on Monday.
On Monday.
That's a divine appointment.
I'm telling you, she's a very intentional and strategic woman, and so she's the type that's not going to move until God says so, no matter when that is. So when she told me, she's like, well, what are you doing Wednesday? I'm like, well, if the city manager asks me what I'm doing on Wednesday, it's most likely going to be whatever she needs me to do.
Right.
And when she said that, it brought tears to my eyes. I was blown away that someone would even consider me for an opportunity like that. Like I said, I don't look for things like this. I haven't looked for any of the things that have happened in my life. Quite frankly, I had a different idea as to what my life would be and how it would play out. So I'm very grateful that I can see God's hand and how he's been intentional with me at every step. And even this event is evidence that there's not been a moment that I've been out of his sight, out of his view, no matter how far away from it I felt. So it's been leveling.
That's amazing. That's amazing. Well, I'm going to ask, and then, are you a Carolina fan?
Well, I am a Carolina fan. I don't know of any other teams that exist personally. So, I'm absolutely a Carolina fan.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Well, before we get to know a little bit more about you, and you did say I can call you Tyson.
You should call me Tyson,
great.
Yes.
And so before we get to know a little bit more about you, Tyson, tell us, what do you see as one of the major contributions for Coach Staley here. I, too, am a Gamecock fan.
Absolutely.
I'm not ashamed to say it.
Yeah.
And what do you see as being one of her major contributions?
Well, I think what Coach Staley has done for Columbia, what she's done for South Carolina, is much bigger than basketball. I think it's culture. Mm-hmm. If you look at the reality of what Gamecock women's basketball represents, it's bigger than the games. Mm-hmm. It's bigger than the players. It's about a culture that unifies our communities together, irregardless of socioeconomic class, race, so on and so forth. No matter what, all of those individuals unified under one roof, not just because of the game, but because of the culture. Mm-hmm. She embodies that culture, and the statement of uncommon favor just does even more to unify our communities under one large umbrella, and that's the umbrella of the fact that God is sovereign and He's Lord over all of our lives, whether we recognize that or not. Mm-hmm. And it's interesting to see how sometimes people won't understand Christ or have a desire to really reverence or honor Christ until they see symbols in their lives do the same. Mm-hmm. So people weren't talking about uncommon favor as much before Coach Staley started speaking about the same God that gave her that uncommon favor on her life. So Coach Staley represents something that unifies our communities, and she represents something that unifies us under the God who gave all of us the opportunity to be here. That's the contribution that sticks out most to me. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Well, good. And I totally agree with you on that. Now tell me about Tyson. Tell me what it is. Do you see yourself doing more emceeing? Do you see yourself speaking more in the public? What is it that Tyson is on his way to do next?
Well, it's so interesting that you ask, because I am not an individual who MCs events often. Quite frankly, if I can be honest, I'm just a church baby, and I have never emceed an event of that magnitude in my entire life.
Wow.
So this was not something that was brought to me because this is something that I do regularly. Quite honestly, I am an undergraduate student getting ready to graduate with my Bachelor of Arts in Political Science with a pre-law minor and go on to law school, next year, Lord willing. I'm a licensed funeral director. I have my SHRM CP, so I'm very much not an individual that goes around speaking different places all the time. Now, I've been blessed to have opportunities to go different places and inspire people to serve as keynote speakers, especially in these last several months. But it was never something that was on my radar.
Wow.
Yeah, God gave me this voice, and I pray the same prayer every morning. Lord, give me one opportunity to flip this world upside down, and I'll do it in a way that you get the glory out of it. Mm-hmm. And that's just how I ended up in this situation, honestly.
I actually knew you were a church boy when you told them, okay, you all have to say it loud so that we can hear you on Assembly Street. I said, that's a church man.
That's right, because y'all too quiet for me. Now I'm going to get bored. Y'all, you got to wake this thing up. Yes, absolutely.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So one last thing on the Coach Staley piece of it.
Absolutely.
What do you think, what qualities, if any, that you have in mind that you think that it would constitute a statute?
Yeah. I think that because statues are so significant and because statues have a tendency to survive the tests of time, they weather storms, they exist often in perpetuity. A statue is given to someone who we have no doubt in our minds will do everything that they can to continue to bring honor to the place that they're from rather than shame. I think there's a level of integrity associated with someone being honored with something of that magnitude, because it's a statement of all of our trust and belief in that individual to continue to be who they've always unapologetically been. And I think what's most inspiring about Coach Staley, what's most inspiring about the individuals who put this event together, is that there's a dedication, there's a commitment to always being the same person, always being the same way, consistently, no matter where you are or who is in front of you. I live by that. No matter where I am, you're going to get the same exact Tyson.
Right.
I'm not impressed with anybody enough to change myself. And I never will be.
That's great.
I think that's what's so significant about Coach Staley as well. We know that we can honor her with a statue because she'll never change unless it's for the better.
Right.
So that is that level of integrity, that level of consistency, that level of love toward a community of people. that's what constitutes someone being able to be honored in a way that signifies such permanence,
Right.
in my
Right.
opinion.
Good. And as you were talking, I just thought of one thing that I know of, because I have been doing a little bit of research on you too lately.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
I've been doing a little research on you.
Okay.
And one thing I think that both you and Coach Staley have in common is that you do things and people don't know that you're doing it. I like that. I like the fact that you can be a blessing to someone and the whole entire world does not need to know. It's not plastered out there on Facebook. It's not all on social media. It's not all bring on the cameras, let me tell everyone about it. And that's one thing that I like about both of you. Coach Staley helps people. Sometimes I'm just really surprised when I hear, your girlfriend when you were young, Judy Gatson. Do you remember her?
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
Like I said, I don't
And
hold it against her that she's married now.
Yeah, she went
and
on
she
to marry
moved on,
someone else.
And
Yeah.
it's okay. It's okay. We understand each other.
But so oftentimes when they're actually bringing the news forward, and I thought, she did that?
Yeah.
Wow, she did that. And there are just so many other things that that she does,
Absolutely.
and that people just don't know about it. And I think that too makes it great that there's a statute there that people can say, I want to follow. What did she do to earn that statute?
Absolutely.
What type of what did she do in the Columbia, in the community, so that she could get that statute? And I heard some things about what you were doing, Tyson.
Boy.
Yeah. and they're all great things.
Yeah, good.
They're all great things.
Yeah.
And I think that's really good. When people can do things behind the scene, that really it kind of pulls at my heartstring.
Yeah.
Because you just want to be able to do things and then allow the Lord just to bless you in whatever way that He does. And He will.
Absolutely.
And He'll do it just right.
He'll do it just right.
He'll do it just right.
Absolutely.
And so I'm thankful, too, for some of the things that you do. And I said all of that to say this. I would like for you to share with our audience just a few things. I know that you have your nonprofit.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you talk to us a little bit about your nonprofit?
Absolutely.
And also let us know what it is that we can do to help you going forward.
Well, my nonprofit is called Project One Way. Now, that's often confused with Project Runway. I promise. They are two very separate things. They are in no way, shape, or form the same. It is Project One Way Incorporated, and we're a nonprofit organization based in the Midlands for the purpose of helping communities of underserved youth through our four main programs, that is network building and navigation, multi-area scholarship support, mentoring, and employment empowerment, which is our workforce development programming. And that's honestly how we landed even in this position to have this conversation today. The City of Columbia gave us an opportunity back in 2023 to begin a contract with the Office of Business Opportunities to train small businesses on bridging generational gaps in shared spaces.
Okay.
So we did a three-part series. Now, mind you, most municipalities, county government spaces across this nation have never embraced a training like this. But Columbia, South Carolina was one of the first to really pioneer this curriculum that we wrote. It was a three-part series that talked all about understanding the employability of my generation, practical HR strategies for acquisition and retention of my generation, and the process of building and managing multi-generational and cross-functioning teams. Well, the reality of the matter is, in South Carolina, in Columbia as a whole, we're suffering from a critical talent vacuum. You understand? We've got generational talent here in this city. We've got generational talent here in this state. And unfortunately, because in the past we have not had the infrastructure to support keeping those individuals here, they've gone to places like Charlotte. They've gone to places like Atlanta. They're leaving here, and no one is staying here to help develop what we have here. After we taught those sessions for the Office of Business Opportunities, the city's HR department picked it up, and we began training the actual leadership of the city. So that's their assistant city managers, directors, assistant directors, so on and so forth, training those individuals on how to bridge generational gaps in shared spaces, understanding that what they're doing, who they are, and their roles is bigger than just getting a check. They're responsible for the safekeeping of our city and its culture. Our city's strategic plan says that Columbia will be a more metropolitan city by 2036. Our city manager wrote that. And it can happen if we plug the critical talent vacuum. And so our nonprofit never knew that we would become so deeply enthralled in what that looks like with the city. But in what we've done, we've found our niche. We've worked with companies like Sios Technology as well, which is a private sector technology corporation based in California and Japan that has an office here that works directly with USC. So it's been a very interesting journey when it comes down to what we've done with workforce development. Now, I'm just 23 years old. I just turned 23, so I don't know everything. I consider myself not to know much. What I do know is that if I had known that having a nonprofit would be as difficult as it is, I probably would have never done it.
Really?
But isn't it just like God not to reveal to us how difficult things will be before we do them? Because we would never agree. So if I had all the information, then it might have impacted my yes. And so I'm grateful that God did not show me all of it because, like I said, I wouldn't have said yes. But here we are in a year where our state's budget is passed with no earmarks, in a year where you're seeing hospitality tax being impacted in different places because of different federal regulations. I'm not trying to get all governmental, but the reality is the best way for someone to support our nonprofit now is financially. Because the reality is as a new nonprofit who is building their program, who's actually doing the work in the community, we don't always have access to the same level of funds that other nonprofit organizations have access to. So for individuals who feel connected to our vision, I would love, to talk to any and every one about how they can support financially and the projects that we have coming up, so on, so forth, sponsorship levels, things of that nature.
Okay, so then will you share with us briefly?
Absolutely.
Then how we could support, how this community can support you?
Absolutely.
And how we also can connect with you.
Absolutely. So we are a how can I say this? How can I put this eloquently? Let's see.
While you're thinking of that,
Okay.
how you can put it eloquently.
Go ahead.
I do want to say he did not ask me, nor did we even plan to go in this direction. This is totally off script, so I'm hoping that I'm not imposing on you.
You're good. You're good. You're
Okay.
good.
But I do want you to share, just in case there's someone out there that would be interested in helping you or donating or supporting or encouraging in whatever way.
Absolutely.
We just want to know how to be able to get in contact with you.
Well, the best way to reach us is at our donor support email. So that would be literally spelled out donor support at projectoneway.info. All that's all spelled out.
Okay.
So I mean, we've had great success. I will not downplay what God has done for us. We have, at my age, to lead an organization, to do some of the things we've been able to do. I don't take that for granted because I know that there are not a lot of people in my age group, in my generation, who have the proximity that I have to some of the people that I do, or who have had the opportunities that I've had. And again, I'll say, none of this was on purpose. None of this was something that I sat and lurked in the corner and waited and watched people for. I didn't do that. That's not who I am.
Right.
It just so happened that God would honor the work that I put in, the tears that I cried, the sweat that I had to wipe away, the nights that I had no rest at all and sometimes still have no rest at all. It just so happened that he would begin to show me the fruits of those labors through the things that I've done.
Awesome. Awesome. So we have that one email.
Okay.
And we'll also put it out here so that everyone will be able to see. Any other way that we can, you mentioned about donations. So how can we give a donation?
Well, we're a 501c3 tax-exempt organization, so all donations that are given to us are tax deductible. The best way to reach us about giving donations is to send us an email to that donor support email address, because we want to make sure that we keep track of everyone and make sure that everyone is properly thanked and shown gratitude for the gifts that they give. So emailing that donor support at projectoneway.info or Tyson at projectoneway.info if you need to reach me directly about something specific regarding a gift that you would like to give or a partnership that you see might be beneficial.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yes,
Well,
ma'am.
thank you so much. Again, we are just so grateful to have you in our office today.
Absolutely.
So that we can sit down and learn more about the man behind the mic.
Oh, goodness.
And we do. We do. We wish you well. If there's any way that we can support you, please let us know. And if you have anything that you would like to say to our audience before we end this particular session, we could do that.
Well, I'd really just like to go back and reiterate the fact that this was not something that was on my radar. And I will tell you, when I was a bit younger, when I just graduated from high school, I had all these plans of how my life would pan out and where I would go to school and how long it would take me to graduate and, what order I would do things in. And God really, in several ways, has flipped my life upside down,
Wow.
And sometimes that's looked like loss. Sometimes it's looked like grief. Sometimes, loss and grief are synonymous. Sometimes it has just looked like plans not going the way that I wrote them out. But I like to encourage people and tell them that as long as you hold on to the what, you can leave the hows to God. The hows belong to God. If I hold on to the what, then He'll show me how.
Right.
If I hold on to the what, then He'll show me when. And I would just say this, I believe, is one of the beginnings of all the things that God wants to do in my life. I'm completely sold out for whatever it is that He wants me to do. I want nothing more than I want Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Nothing. I have absolutely no desire greater than Him. I'd give everything else up just to have Him.
Awesome.
I believe that this is a precursor to what He wants to do in my life. I'm a vessel ready to be used. I want Him to use me until there's nothing left. I have a desire to die empty. And so I just want to encourage everyone who may be watching this not to give because I don't beg for money. That's not really my thing.
Yeah.
Now, I have to learn how to do it because when you have a nonprofit, you have to know how to, how to ask for money. I'm getting there. So what you did today, it stretched me.
Yeah.
It really did.
Yeah.
And I appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
But I want everyone who has a dream to continue to pursue that dream, no matter how difficult it becomes, no matter how unrealistic others may think that it is. You can never have a dream come true if you don't dream first.
Exactly.
So,
and that's so important. I think that's an awesome message to our youth as well, because oftentimes they feel that, I'm at a loss. They feel like I'm grieving.
Oh, yeah.
And, because I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
But sometimes we have to just sit still and listen.
Yeah.
And then whatever the voice of the Lord says, then that's the direction we go. And it was like, you may look at it like, don't want to go down that road.
Right.
But then it's all about trust.
And sometimes
He can be trusted.
The reality is that grief, when you grieve, you're grieving whatever you believe that your life would become. You're grieving your idea of God's will. Our job is we have no responsibility over God's will, only accountability to it. When we realize that, then we can rest better at night knowing that even if it doesn't pan out the way that I planned for it to, God's still got it under control. Why? His ways. They're not my ways. His thoughts certainly are not my thoughts. Right. He knows what's best. And I'll say this last, I can talk about that all day because that's been my whole life. I'll say this last piece, that there are moments in life where God's decisions cause us to feel disregarded. But the reality of the matter is that because He's God, He's never made a decision that was against us. He's only made decisions for us. When I realized that, the way that I viewed life changed as a whole. That's not for young people only, that's for older people. That if He does it, He knew what He was doing when He did it, and it's for
purpose.
my good. Absolutely.
It's purpose.
It's scriptural.
Purposeful, yeah.
Absolutely. So that's all I'm going to say.
Awesome. Well, I'm not going to say much either because if I say one thing, then you'll say something, then I'll say something else too. But I am going to say thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much. We
you.
pray that God's blessings always remain upon you, that you always remain faithful to Him and His word, even when it doesn't, it doesn't always feel good. But just know it's working out for you good.
Absolutely.
And so that's the thing. And again, to our audience, we want to thank you all so very much for stopping by, hoping that you're able to learn just a little more about Tyson and why he does what he does. So now we know. Again, we'll also have his website and his information below for those who may want to do and to sow or learn any more about his business. Feel free to put in the comments. We can reach out to him if you have any questions. Again, thank you so much. And remember, this is Tailored Talks.